Okay, it is 6 o'clock, and before the meeting starts, we will have the public opening for the audit RFP.
Okay. Any comments?
Sure.
Man administrator?
There was one bid which was received, and it is from Sickich. It was received on September 11th at 9:35 a.m.
You tell me I leave the house around my pocket.
Yep, might not wanna go.
Yeah.
Yes. This one has some, since you need us to do.
This is my first official package opening. So there would be many more in the bid. Thank you.
I believe we have a line item in here for special audit services.
Yep, the bids are in attachment C. Pages are not numbered. But the first year for FY 25 would be 59,500, FY 26, 62,000, FY 27, 64,300. And then the two optional years are FY 28 over 66,300, FY 29, 62,300.
It's the entire bid.
So what we had asked for in the RFP was 3 years with up to 2 optional years. Which was what we had done previously when we switched to Sickich as well.
We have that completed. I will call the meeting of the Finance Committee for Monday, September 15th, 2025 order, Stephenson County. And item number 2 is prayer. Any volunteers on that one?
I can do that.
All right.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this group gathered here this evening. We ask that you would fill us with wisdom as we look to our county's business. Help us to work together as a group and do that business well. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Steve. Approval of agenda.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Review and approval of meeting minutes from August 18th, 2025.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve
Second.
and a second. Any discussion on the meeting minutes? I bring that through. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Approval of claims. I have claims in the amount of cash requirements, 334,154.65, manuals, 1,054,597.54, for a total of $1,388,752.19. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
So we have a motion to approve and a second. Any other discussions, thoughts, comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Public comment. I see a multitude of nobody from the public tonight, so let that fly by. Diamond Brothers, hopefully everybody got a chance to see the note Carrie sent out today, with a couple other central programs to incorporate into next year's cycle. And so she's gonna be here the next 3 months in a row, reporting on things and teeing things up for the renewal. And so I told her she just needed to come in tonight, that we could review that, that email from her. And if we have any questions, certainly reach out to her directly to ask. Let's see, with that, county administrator, then you have the floor.
I'm pulling up my report because I forgot to bring me printed copy. Currently, still working on contract for the EMA director. Mr. Rummers submitted his report for P and D, and my report that was posted said that over the weekend, the cement pad was laid for the memorial bench, but I will update that with over this weekend, the bench was installed and I sent that to the board this week. My next land bank meeting is on the 24th. The turnover with the nursing center employees was completed. A special thanks to Ryan in my office and Carrie in Stephanie's office. There was quite a bit that had to be done. There were 5 portals that Ryan had to go into for each employee, and just making sure all of those things were taken care of. A lot of work was done between the two of them. Continuing with the turnover and things with that's been moving along pretty. Been working with Ms. McWright on liability and benefits renewals. The current copier company Access Systems, Nate and I had a conference call with them because there were some machines that were not reporting usage. And part of the agreement was that we would have the remote usage, like, reporting that we had with Gordon Flush. So we've worked out some kinks with them temporarily. They'll be coming on site to do those readings twice a year, as opposed to expecting someone from the county to report that in. So, FOIA requests have been abundant lately, not just in my department. There's been a few departments that have been getting quite a few lately. I attended a meeting on September 5th with the CJA program, which the city was there. Some other community program heads were there discussing the program that is in Freeport that is doing training for youth on being solar panel installers and benefits that can be offered to people who hire them for those programs. As far as audit update, the only outstanding information is with the nursing center, but we've been working with Jen and Freeport Nursing Policy and Scott Hockstead. He was knee deep in submitting information for one of the other projects we had him doing last week, and has now started to work on the audit thing. So they're cooperating with trying to get that information to us to get that completed.
All right.
That's all I have.
Okay, any questions? Yes, sir.
When is the audit scheduled to be done?
Hopefully we will have that information by the end of this week to them. Everything else is done with the audit. That's the only outlying piece.
When are we really supposed to have it done? Like June?
June, July. I think more realistically, it's been August, September, the last couple of years. But
I'm just curious.
ideally, yeah.
Yeah, last year, I think we got the letter. August, and she was here
In September.
September. I remember that. All right, anything else? Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Hopefully, let's see, Adrian was not able to be here tonight, so she sent a report to everybody. Check plan now. So audit, she's adding a little bit to the audit update. They could not issue a clean, unmodified opinion on the nursing home's financial statements. So this could result in material weakness for the county as a whole. It would also impact state and federal funding, particularly with highway grants. We continue to reach out, he says, to Whitfleet, Serenity Estates representatives and S&C staff to obtain and receive information. So they are working on it. So, and then we've got all the budgets line items to go through this evening. She says the general fund has a deficit of 110,000. Still many variables that need to be considered moving forward. Some include the real estate tax levy request, health insurance. And that's gonna be a biggie, I think, this budget cycle, because I don't know, we don't really know exactly how it's gonna impact things yet. Would you say 61 employees?
62 total employees, 41 benefits eligible.
So please, partake of her report. Does anybody have any thoughts or questions on that? So I'm trying to think. Approving budget worksheets tonight. So hearing no questions, I'll move on to the treasurer's report. Which hopefully everybody had a chance to see that. Sales and collections information. A little bit from the previous month, 5.5 million so far year to date. And then all of the information that's part of her monthly reports. So, certainly if anybody has any questions, I think, let me look quick, because she had sent some additional information on that too. So she says, have a copy of the general fund and treasurer's automation project budgets. She's asking for a general fund increase of 4%. She'll get into, which is driven by the 4% COLA. Treasurer automation budget is 4.76 above the current year. Two largest increases in the fund are office equipment. She needs some monitors, meetings and seminars increased in the back. So if you have any questions for her, certainly email her directly on that. One thing I was concerned about, and I'll bring that up with her, she's saying that total county funds were down 3.4% compared to July 31st, which is, she's saying is within the normal range. Smaller tax distribution in August, larger than normal accounts payable cycle. The continued lack of repayment of nursing home funds is what's causing a lot of that. So got to keep an eye on that, just bring it up, because I think it's something the impact is going forward. Because we're teetering on the edge of that 6-month window, I think right now as it is, so. As far as having reserves. That we're supposed to have, we're going to be out bringing. Anybody have anything else on her report? Okay, hearing none. No old business, so new business approval of bid for professional audit services. You have before you a bid that includes 5-year proposal. Single audit, circuit clerk audit, Stephenson County audit, other services not listed. Which there's some quoted fee included in maintenance of the county long-term debt, capital asset records, preparation of CFA, and assistance with certain actuarial accounting adjustments. So there may be some additional charges if we need to use additional services from them. But the all-inclusive maximum price, as you can see, in each of these goes from $59,500 in fiscal year 2025 up to fiscal year 2029, which is $68,300, which seems pretty reasonable for the application, in my opinion.
I will say that we had 4 companies in total show interest. Sikich, who submitted the bid, Dan Curran of Crow in Chicago, Jason Coyle of Baker Tilly in Chicago, and Darlene Dyson of Roth and Company in Chicago. Did not hear back from 2 of them, and one Dan Crow from Chicago, Crow in Chicago, emailed this afternoon, and politely with, he said, obviously I did not submit an RFP, but a lot of them that we requested calls with Adrian and I just to find out more information, and they didn't think they could be competitive with everything that we have going on with the firm. Dan said he, would maybe show interest next cycle, but needed to learn a little bit more about where we were. Just more information.
What's the committee's pleasure?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Second. And a second. Any other discussion on this? Go ahead.
I just think this goes sick, it's a good idea for us because we're familiar with what they look for. They're familiar with how we function for the most part. Unless we have odd things happen like we're having right now, but I would think this would be the best route for us to take.
I think they've done a very amicable job in the time that I've been in this role, so I have no issues with that myself. Mr. Chairman, any thoughts?
I haven't looked at it, but we've had good success with them compared to the previous auditing firm, so. Don't see any reason to move on.
Understood, all right. Any other thoughts? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. You want these back then?
If you want to keep them for the county board, I'll send it electronically to the
Yeah,
whole,
that's true.
so.
All right. Approval of RFQ for bids on surplus copiers and printers. Madam Administrator, you have the full.
So a few months ago, we did this through Finance Committee for all of the copiers. We were about 3 weeks behind the Health Department submitting theirs, and all of theirs were sold. We did not receive any bids. I spoke to Mr. Larson, and in the meanwhile, after our RFP closed, we did have a few nonprofits reach out, kind of showing interest, and Mr. Larson suggested the best way to do it would be repost our RFP, see what we could do as far as getting more bids in, and hopefully get some.
Are these all being stored somewhere? In the same place?
They're cramping a lot of offices. We have a couple that Wally moved out to Highway Department in an empty office. Just because, you know, fifth floor's copy room is only so big, having two of them sitting there. We took ours, which, you know, my office space is kind of limited too. So there's a couple that are, I know the courthouse, I think Nate's got one or two maybe in his store. We've just kind of tried to get them out of the working areas of the offices, but they're sitting.
Just curious. So it looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 copiers, and it looks like a pretty standard deal. So what's the committee's?
So you're looking for somebody to buy them all?
They can bid independently or as a whole.
And that will be online?
It'll be online and run in the paper again.
Says on the RFP, bidders may bid on individual or multiple items.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
And a motion.
I got a motion
Second.
and I have a second. Any thoughts? Other comments? Hearing none of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right. Let's see, this. Review and approval of proposed fiscal year 26 budgets.
Right.
Yeah.
So the way we did this was we listed the entire budget and bolded the budgets or funds that the finance director and I felt either had been passed through committee and we're ready to move on, or ones that we feel, you know, are ready to be approved at the finance.
So if we pull up the reference sheet,
Yes.
the ones we're gonna focus in on tonight are the ones highlighted in a pinkish hue.
The ones that are attached are the ones that are ready to be
The
approved.
ones that are attached on this.
Yes,
Okay.
or well, they're bolded.
But it's linked on the,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Well, that's what I'm
mine
saying,
gives
they're
me,
highlighted in a pinkish hue.
mine
That's
gives
what
a
I scroll
little
out.
blue outline, so
Really?
that's why we
I
said.
got they're bold, but they're in kind of, oh, no. it's
Some of
coming
them are
down, they're not.
indicated,
Some
yeah.
of them have.
Some of them have
a-
like ink on it.
Okay, this is not good. Cause I'm not sure where you want me to go.
Here, you can have my copy.
We gotta go down to 801 Steve. That's the first one in bold.
That easier for you to read.
There. I see what she's about. Gotcha.
You got that?
All right. So I'm not, well, looking at the actual data. That's what I thought you were talking about, was the
Oh, the
actual data.
actual sheets.
So we're gonna skip down to 801, state's attorney.
So, what was presented, was, there were some changes made at committee level. The committee approved on September 10th, the 4% COLA as well as a 3.5% inline item 001-801-40200. Otherwise, the notes are reflected therein.
Mr. Larson was actually asking for a larger increase. Twice this
It's attached, it's
in order to,
under 9.3.
801 seats attorney.
make the state's attorneys, the assistant state's attorney's salaries the same as the public defenders. The public defenders are actually paid, I think, $5,000 a year more than the state's attorneys, because the public defenders gets money from the state, correct? They get like $100,000 a year to do whatever they want to with it.
Okay.
And we don't have, then the state's attorney doesn't get that. So he actually lost one state's attorney who just went downstairs to work for the public defender's office because he's making $5,000 a year more. And Mr. Larson would certainly like to have those, on equal level, which makes sense, but they don't get the extra money from the state.
Yeah.
So suggest that, instead of increasing, having such a large increase, we would give half now and half next year. At least look at it anyway.
So if you look at the bottom, it'd be 911, 227.50 without the parity adjustment. I believe is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Because it'd be 467, 979.20 on that line. Right. And that's specifically in order to compensate the folks that are in his office.
Yes,
It's only the assistant ASAs.
How many assistants does he have?
three or four.
Four.
Might be short. I think he's short one too.
I think he's sure two.
Two. I was thinking he had three now and
It's 3 or 4.
I don't recall.
Just curious.
Motion to approve this is as adjusted.
I have a motion. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Okay.
We can still discuss, right, that, as the chairman has pointed out, we're already in the hole budget wise. And we're not sure where this money's gonna come from. There's nothing that he can do and adjust in his department to, make up for it. So, and Adrian said that there's still some things up in the air as to how much money we'll have where.
Right.
So, I guess at this point in time, we'd like to move forward and we can always readjust later on if we have to.
Well, my only issue with that is, once you go up, it's much harder to go back down.
Yes,
I think what you meant readjust would be later in this process.
in this process,
Oh,
not
just
problems.
wanted
That I understand.
Once we know more, we have more concrete numbers that we're looking at.
What would going, meeting them halfway do? Would that do anything to help?
Well, his original request was to go for 11%, and
So he's thinking this is more.
that 7% was cut in half, correct? To 3.5 this year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and then they're asking it in next year. And again, that's over the 6% that would trigger IMC's if someone is.
Plus over what the budget policy states, 4%.
you have any thoughts on this, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, when we went through the budget policy process back in April, I believe it was. That's when these kind of things should have come up, in my opinion,
Right.
since you're asking. There's a handful of departments that want to increase either their deputy clerks. Maybe clerk isn't the right word, deputy assessor, I think.
Right, there's like,
Maybe deputy clerk also in the circuit clerk's office. Higher than the 4% because of union increases. But anybody that sat on public works, I guess Larry or Ed, in this past year, the unions pay attention to the percentages of increases, not dollar amounts. So when the public works union was going through its negotiation, they looked specifically at the circuit clerk's office because they got, I think it was over 11% increase. In his exact words, the union rep was, the county must be flush with cash, so we want 20%. And they were dead serious. I mean, we went 4 months before we settled on 4%, 5%, 4% over 3 years. Yeah, I have empathy, I guess, for what they're talking about, but these wage increases, even at 4%, they're not sustainable.
no,
It's cumulative year over year, and we have been so, God, I don't want to say spoiled, but we've been spoiled with ARPA funds for the last 5 years that we've been able to spend money. But maybe next year, when we go through this process of budget policy, we look at the deputy clerks and the deputy assessor and look at maybe possibly giving them a higher than 4% increase, but you know, Carl's not wrong. It's hard to employ an attorney at whatever they pay them, 50 or 60,000 a year with the debt that they have.
Yeah.
But we're not private sector either.
right.
And to come at 11% increase.
You still get experience in the process, so I would think, you know, is he looking at college people coming out of
Well,
college
I think he's
to do that?
trying to pull people from anywhere and everywhere that he possibly can.
Is that some of this stuff, hopefully at the committee level, that's being investigated, because that's the only problem I have by the time it gets here. We're sitting here just looking at a number. I mean, I have no idea what groundwork has been done behind the scenes to say what options do we really have.
He is,
Like you said, it's part of the budget process.
sorry,
No, that's okay. You know, earlier in this process, hopefully some of that ground was covered. Go ahead.
he does have an employee who is currently in law school, who is taking advantage of the, education reimbursement.
Okay.
So I know he's trying.
Yeah, I just did it. I get it, but now that it's here, there's not much, it's kind of a year, anything.
My only concern is if you do approve this, the other departments who follow the 4% don't come back and say.
Hey,
Well, I guess then I'm, because that's where I was at with the 4% in my motion.
Yeah, your motion was on the force.
Yes, 7.
It's 7.5.
Presented.
7.5%.
Well, the 4% is in here.
it says 4% COLA is only 467.
Go to the line of, yeah, the one line just for the assistant ASAs is a 7.5 total. The second line in the budget.
Okay,
So would you like to restate your
I
motion?
just like to withdraw it then.
Okay. Would you like to withdraw the second?
Yeah, I'll throw a second.
Okay. So please restate your motion.
I don't have one right this minute.
You don't have
Finish the conversation.
Okay. So we're back to square one. We have one of two ways this can go as presented to this committee, which is the line 4,200, which is the regular salary for assistants, can either be 483,729, which is a 7.5% increase over last year, or equivocating to the COLA increase at 4%, would bring us to 467,979.20.
Right.
So the final impact then would be 926,977 with the 7.5% as a total expense, or 911,227.50 without the parity adjustment above, and limiting it to the 4% COLA. What, do I have a motion for one of those two directions?
Well, I'll make a motion to go with the higher number,
Okay,
since this is my committee that passed to this level.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Do I have a second for that? All right, hearing none, that motion fails.
We still have next month too. I mean, we will know more of the variables going into next month. I don't want you
So
guys
that
to
would
feel
be
like
a-
this
a
has to
third
happen
option.
Right.
We could lay it over for
tonight. We're just bringing the ones that were passed.
Thank you for
through
that
already.
reminder, Jordan.
I'm hoping that just magically some money will, I don't know where it'll come from, but I'm hoping that we'll
But we
have
may
some
have
money
more
that we can move
answers,
around.
I just personally, I hate laying things over. I'm a get her done kind of guy, so I'm like. but What's committee's pleasure? You guys want to sit on it for a month? Or you want to approve it at 4% and move it forward?
So I just make one more,
Go ahead.
I'll prefer waiting another month, cause that's what I was gonna ask for my committee and give me another month,
Okay,
yeah. Cause we did approve the emergency management, but we just need to approve others, but I would prefer waiting another month.
is that a motion, Mr. Bush? So moved.
I'll second that. That's-
All right,
Yep.
so I have a motion and a second on the floor. Any other discussion on that?
I am not opposed to that at all. I just want to remind everybody, there's probably a good 6 to 9 hours of budget process this committee is still gonna have to go through before the first meeting in November. You're not gonna get all through this budget.
Well, I'm expecting to have 2 or
regular
3 meetings in
schedule.
October.
Yeah.
So. Understood. We'll figure it out. You guys okay with that?
I am.
All right. So I've got a motion and a second. I hear no other discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried with one opposed. So lay over till next month. All right, next one on the list, 803.
Too many 8 hours.
Probation.
So, and I don't want to speak for Mr. Dibbins, but Dr. McGee presented information about how she reassigned some costs in her budget to align with the state standards for certain uses. But overall, if you look at the percentage of increases that are in there, her overall budget came in lower. So she was able to shift some to
Yes,
the probation service fee fund, the reimbursements from the state and different things. She did it much better, thorough
Yes.
explanation of
Yes,
her
yes.
services.
Yeah.
But overall, with the chief judge's compensation plan, which is 6%, the union contract, and the other higher percentages, she was able to manipulate certain costs into other budgets and come out with that. So
All I gotta say is at the bottom line, I see a negative number and that's a beautiful thing.
it is a beautiful thing.
So I'm gonna request a motion to
I'll make
approve
a
this as
motion.
is. I have a motion to approve it as is. A second, other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Three moves on. 806, court ordered expense.
committee approved it on August 13th. It's status quo.
Yeah, this looks pretty, they didn't spend even a quarter of the budget that I had thus far, so. Why? if they're-
A lot of these are kind of plan for the worst, hope for the best, because if you do have a case that needs
Goes over.
the
Makes sense.
mental health evals and the other things, the funds need to be there, but yeah.
Paying some dollars.
Yeah.
And since it's a 0% increase, I would entertain a motion to approve that as is.
Motion to approve.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 807, jury commission.
Jury commission was approved August 13th at committee. They did eliminate the line of the offsite jury expense because I don't think they use that anymore. That was COVID protocol.
Makes sense. That would make sense.
Increase with stationery supplies and postage for an overall increase of 1.75%.
which in the overall is $500.
Motion to approve.
A section to approve and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. 808, law library.
This was approved by committee August 13th. Those costs are kind of dictated by the licensure for the online law books, I believe. So, and those fees, they're estimating the is to be about 8.67%.
That seems pretty astronomical because there's stuff on there to look up things online, right? And
No, this is the
actual
I
books
forgot the
are-
word of what books, it's the ones that the attorneys use.
Yeah.
Statutes, right?
Yeah, and there's a word for the law book and I can't think
Yeah,
of what.
LexisNexis.
Westlaw, is it? Yeah.
That's like almost 9%. It just seems a bit ridiculous.
They gotcha.
What was the justification for that committee?
I don't
It's just
remember.
the way it
I think
is.
I think that's, yeah, I think that's
It's
just
past,
the way it is.
August 13th, that's this number.
Is there some law stating it has to be that?
I don't recall that being discussed.
I
Because when I
think
look
they
at the
just all
budget so
need the
far,
subscription service, if I'm remembering correctly.
I'm gonna say it's something they have to have.
Yeah.
Yes, you can't get by without it, so.
Oh, Adrian's texting.
Somehow we need to find a way to
well,
get
again,
these judges to quit dictating our expense.
tracking through the end of August, 25,659. If you extrapolate that out to the end of the year, it's 38,488. So it's somehow $4,000 less in 2024 actual, unless there's some year-end payment I don't. That just seems odd to me. That makes no sense that it happens that big thing.
Yeah, the judge doesn't usually say much. I think he said this was the way it is, but it's just what it is, you know. There's nothing they have no control over it.
Yeah.
But we could certainly look into it. I can check on the judge house.
I would suggest taking that one back and asking them for more specifics, because again, when I look at and I know it's not a lot of money, but, we were just being asked for another, $10,000 for salaries for somebody who's used for that. But, that's a hefty increase for books. I know they gotta have them. I have no issues with that, but
Yeah.
we're tracking below last year right now.
And that's all.
And they're asking for an increase, over that, so. It'd be nice to know more.
It'd only be like, what, 38,000 or something?
Yeah, 38 and some change
Yeah.
this year,
That doesn't.
which over
We can get-
2024. looks old.
I don't remember if it's number of licenses needed and they were understaffed. I mean, I'm
Oh.
guessing I would have to ask.
Just be nice to have some more detail.
So do we need a motion to lay this one over then?
I would entertain that.
Okay, I'll make a motion to lay this one
I
over.
have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? I appreciate that. Thank you. And let's see it at the committee level. We give you more information. Appreciate it.
Maybe we need, rather than lay it over, maybe we need a motion to send it back to the committee.
Oh,
That's true. Yeah,
I'll rescind my second.
all the procedural stuff.
I'll send my second.
I'll rescind my motion,
Okay. New motion
new motion, send it back to the committee to the
for additional information.
court service. Yes,
Motion and a second to send it back to the committee for additional information.
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Thank you. 902, county clerk and recorder.
Yes, it was approved at committee on September 10. The increase in the department head is per the resolution that the board passed. The other increase is the 4% COLA. There's some reduction in costs with the office with the IT copiers and being lumped in, so overall increase is 3.28%.
I realize it's kind of silly because it's only $750, but 30% increase in mileage? Dang. Yeah. More time.
trainings and stuff, I think.
Like Stone Spring, right? That's what I remember.
That would make sense. All right, we have an increase of 3.2.8%, approved by the committee. What's the pleasure of this committee?
I'll make a decision to approve it.
Motion to approve, or a second? I have a second. Any other discussion? That looks pretty reasonable. So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 904, election expense.
This was approved through committee on September 10th. The increase in the COLA is 4%. Price increase indicated for printing paper and supplies.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
Auto mileage is increased as well. The estimated increase in rent. And election equipment, delivery increase. Otherwise decreases in the, accessibility. Things, overall decrease of 16.38%.
You got any meat behind that one? 138,000 down to 44.
Well, I think some of that, those grants.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of
Grants and that, they didn't get that, so.
Okay,
We would have to put like a front, you didn't get it back later, kind of.
got you.
So that's why we passed it through committee, so
Okay,
I'll make a motion for -16%.
I see that and makes me smile.
second.
I got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. County treasurer, 906.
I think the details were sent out in Ms. Helm's report. But the salary increase per resolution, otherwise the COLA is at 4%.
Yep.
Overall, 3.99% increase.
Leave that to the treasurer.
Computer supplies me down to be 6%, and I thought she did a good job on that, but yeah.
Agreed. You wanna make a motion?
Certainly.
All right, I
Second.
have a motion to approve and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 910. Board of review.
Board of review, approved on committee September 10th. Overall, 2.77% increase. I think the only thing increased on that was the stipend for their participation. Do you recall any other conversation?
That's right.
Yeah, it's, is it going up next year? Stipend for those guys?
I don't remember the conversation.
So right now they're contracted you 12,606.
And I know it's, if like the meetings are like as needed, so
Right.
it's not a set number.
Who does that? Would that be P&D?
Assessor,
Huh?
the board of
No, I
review,
mean, who does the budget? Who approves?
assessor.
That's-
Oh,
It's administration.
Oh. Do you have anything else on that? I'm just curious. It's not a lot of money. I know. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't really talk about that for a lot. Okay, but I think it's fine.
Motion to approve.
Okay. Motion to approve?
Second.
And a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I'll let that begin again. Administrative services, 912.
all right,
Pennies here.
huh?
I said I'm pinching pennies. Yeah. I was concerned.
Department head is per contract 3%, 4% for administrative assistant, 4% for finance director.
Stationary.
Yeah, stationary increase. Took out the photocopy costs, slight increase in the dues and memberships because the ILCMA and my professional organization is increased as your set, it's based on salary, so as salary increases, they increase the membership costs. Overall 2.51% increase.
2.5, your pleasure.
I'll make a motion.
I got a motion to approve
I'll second it.
and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. IT budget 925.
This was also approved on September 10th. COLA increase, decrease in contractual expenses. That, I was gonna say the third rock and three rock is that, the anticipation with less licensures and things.
That's what it is, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, how's the losing the nursing center gonna impact that? Do
I
we know
think that's
fully?
part of what they're anticipating, because Three Rock handled the bulk of IT out at the nursing home.
It's already affecting that.
Yeah.
So I have a question.
It seems like it'd be bigger than that, then.
Comment was made with the assessor's office about the GIS person and made comments to the fact that he helped a lot with IT. Why are we taking that? If he's helping with IT, why take it out of the assessor's budget? Why not take it out of this budget? I'm just,
For his salary?
well, that's why we're talking about giving him an increase above the COLA. So if he's helping with IT, why does that? She shouldn't have said that in that comment, but
And Mike is very helpful with
I know.
posting things, doing some things. I don't know how involved he
I
is
think
with.
majority of his time is with the assessor.
I would-
Very minimal with their IT. And those.
Just looking at, so far we have
Yeah.
only approved one negative budget. This one's still negative.
Yeah.
Why not take money out of this if that's the case?
It's good.
Well, I think it's the Three Rock thing mainly, but the other ones that you're referring to, the assessor ones, I had those increases and those didn't get, those got laid over to the administrative committee till for next month. Cause we wanted to see how the rest of this stuff panned out before we started talking about
The person.
anything
Right.
at 4%, so, yeah.
He's good at handling like.
Oh, he's great to work with, but I don't mean that. I'm just
Yeah.
looking at ways.
Just saying,
And-
where's the money coming
and
from?
I'm not-
If he's
I'm
doing
not trying
IT
to
work, he's getting
downplay,
paid
but
out of the
it's-
IT budget partially.
A lot of it, maybe I can't get this to work and he comes in and reboots.
Cause he's got time to do it and he's close by.
I don't, and I don't wanna speak for her, I don't know, but I don't know the extent of. It's not like we sent him out on tickets, and
No.
he isn't in the ticketing system and things like that, but he does help like in the office and in the building.
Okay.
I said Kane used to do it all himself. If I remember right, he didn't have anybody.
Correct.
Shit, this stuff. I can't imagine.
No,
It's all
Mike's
kind of
been
folks
there.
now.
Mike's been there a long time.
Yeah, Mike's been there a long time, I don't know how long.
That was
but
20 years ago.
At that point.
Back a ways.
I've been here since 94.
So, we do anything with that? I lost track of my thought.
We did not do anything yet.
Okay,
Um,
so I got a negative number in front of us, which is always a good thing. For the taxpayers of this
I
county.
think it's I'll make a motion for a -3% budget any day, so.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
I
Opposed? Motion carried. Court, security, jail inmate, medical.
Okay, so this is coming straight to finance because the finance director and I had a conversation about doing this a little differently. This is more transparent. It's the dollars that are coming in for medical expenses for the jail and going out, kind of showing them separately rather than transfers from other funds into different funds. So, kind of looking at it as this is a little clearer and it's kind of standalone. It funds itself, it's got its own revenues and expenses, and thought this would be a little bit more transparent way of reporting it and showing it rather than it coming in, coming out and hitting like three funds. So
So do we know which three funds are gonna be that we know? That there's $428,000. We should have negatives in those accounts then, it's true.
Take that from somewhere else.
She's typing.
I mean, who pays for inmates' medical services?
I was going to ask that very same question. That was might come from,
Medicaid, is it Medicare? Is
Well,
Then
there's
the
like
revenue should
transfer
show
of
somewhere in our revenue.
Steve, the transfer looks like that's 308,005 on that.
308 from other county funds, it's 120 court security, Jim, is that adding 120 then?
I'm thinking the 308 ought to be coming from somewhere. That was a great question, but I
Yeah.
think it's 308 we're looking for here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, where's the 120 coming from, Larry? I mean,
Where's that in there?
So
I don't know,
their court
doesn't say it.
fees
No,
for
Right.
court security and jail inmate medical, the transfer is what has been built up that's being stored in the general fund currently.
You got 308 coming out of the general fund. So that came out of it last year for medical expenses?
It's
for
been built
inmates?
up over time.
So that's what we have available in the general fund for medical expenses for inmates.
It
And in the
was,
past-
I'm sorry, in capital, not general.
And the capital.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the past, that's been coming out of capital fund to a fund within the jail to pay for that. See, this is where really nice to have her here to explain that a little further.
we don't know how much he spent last year.
Well, we don't have to approve it today.
Right,
No, we don't.
Right.
yeah.
So, yeah, it sounds to me like we got questions on that. So. And we don't need to approve tonight,
No.
obviously, so I would entertain a motion to send it back to. Well, we don't have anywhere to send it back to.
Can't send it back
You
to.
don't have to do anything.
No.
Yeah, we don't have to do
We
that.
don't have to do anything, okay.
Yeah.
So we will just leave that as is and revisit that next month.
She said lay it over, or I can call in, but she can present it next month.
Tell her if she's got a chance to send the committee her thoughts on that, that would be great. Thank you. Next.
I don't know if he told them or not. She's just not here tonight because she has a medical procedure in the morning.
Okay,
Otherwise, she would have been here, so.
Yeah.
well, I pray that goes well.
Yeah.
So she's interactive, she's listening and,
Understood.
Yeah.
So next we have probation service fee, 020.
yes, so these are fees, this was approved in committee August 13th. These are fees that are collected through criminal cases that are assigned to probation. They are statutorily dictated as to what those funds can be spent on. So it's a standalone fund, it is its own revenue source, so.
So we have a 5.24% increase in the budget expense, but we have $500,000 cash carried forward.
Yes.
So if you look at this closely, we're still well under the available income. That makes sense to everybody?
And those lines that are red that are deactivated are things that should not be being paid for out of probation service fees, so.
Okay. So I guess with all that,
And is that just new that they changed that
The they're really cracking down on
part of audit?
the guidelines and AOIC standards. I know through their annual plans, they're really changing and what they're approving through the annual plans. They're definitely getting a little more rigid with their.
You know, it just hit me. One of the best places you might be able to use AI in the future is as a judge. Impartiality.
Oh,
You
there you
can
go.
program it that way.
They've already done-
The problem is the
they've already
program
done that.
bias.
They already have done that, and they already know that a computer
It doesn't work out.
is equal to a judge.
Really?
Read several books with that in it.
That's interesting.
AI is interesting.
Yeah, it really is. There's been studying it more with my 13-year-old who's doing some stuff with it. All right, so, yeah, anyway. All right, so I would entertain a motion to approve this one as presented. So motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. 021 Emergency Management Agency.
This was approved September 9th. The notes in there. A lot of fee increases, I don't recall a whole lot of this conversation.
It wasn't a lot, I think, was it, this is where we voted for the 4%? For it?
I don't know if there's
No,
been,
that was underneath the contract, which.
It's a sensitive.
Well. There was a lot of conversation about it, just went through it.
I've got a question about this one. So they've got 20,000 in here for the radio upgrades and with this highway department tower and weather station thing that they're talking about, that's gonna be talked about at Public Works, committee meeting next month. So that budget is not here. I'm probably gonna vote against doing that tower. Because I don't think we need it at this time. It can be delayed a year or two. And so we may not need that 20,000 in there. I don't know what the rest of the committee is gonna vote, but I'm probably not gonna vote for that, because I think we've gotta get that 100,000 out of that public works budget. And this is another 20 or whatever it is here. 'Cause I don't think we need to spend that. That's just my personal opinion, but.
So would you like this in that back committee for reconsideration on the 20,000?
I guess it depends on what happens at the public works
Right.
budget next month. Whether or not this 20 is needed, that's my point. So,
You don't have to do anything with this. You don't have to send it back to committee. You can just not vote on it tonight.
Just sit down.
Wait for public works, and then you can make the decision then. That's
Anybody
one
got an issue with
option.
that?
that would be my preference.
Okay. Hearing no objections, we'll move on. Document storage, 022.
The increase that looks like is what cash carry forward. And the revenues, deactivating some lines and overall 1.22%.
Yeah, you still are.
Where's that?
I think my eyes are, the red is
Increase to it's mileage and contingencies. Is that what you're looking at?
Yep, thank you. I could not read what
It is hard
those
to
titles
read.
were.
It is hard.
It was 2-2. I mean, 0-2-2.
Yep.
Yeah.
122, 804.
I mean, it's still 41,000 less than the revenue side, that she's expecting, so. I see no issues approving this as presented.
Yeah, go ahead, right in there. Looks good.
Have a motion to approve,
Second.
and a second, any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion carried.
Jim, are you planning to do supplementals tonight?
I I think they are on the list. I think those she sent out. So everybody can look at them, but.
Okay,
we'll have to
thank
get
you.
Those in next time. Yep,
I just was curious whether we're doing them.
yes, sir. No, if you get through all these highlighted ones tonight, that'd be great. Just get you jumping. Let's see here. So that was that concern, mechanical document storage, 24. 179% increase. Who are you people?
What was that song again? We gotta meet your Steve.
I'm trying to remember what she's been talked about.
So again, though, if you look at the actual numbers, the 26 requests, she has 60,000 in revenue, 57,000 in expenses. So even though it's showing a 179% increase, which I don't understand how it's getting that number.
Okay.
What was you say that's something?
Something's gotta be miscalculated. It's a 12, you had a 1,233% increase.
Well, but if you gotta go back to last year's budget. The budget last year was 1,076. Now we're at 3,000.
Right.
That's why that looks at 179%.
There you go. Thank
Oh,
you.
that.
What's left? See, that's a little bit confusing. Cause you got revenues less expenses, you got $3,000 under revenue, right? And the expense side. So to me, that's, you actually got a negative there.
Should be, yeah.
Instead of 179%, it might be 179% increase over last year, what was left. In terms of the budget.
Well, it's 2,000 more than last year as far as the budget's concerned.
Right. But that's a
Should-
$2,000
This
deposit,
should be a negative.
right? Because that's money left over that she's not spending. That's why, to me, that's a confusing.
Should be a negative. Correct.
Well, it's showing that you
It's
have
not a
that,
negative number.
yeah. But I would entertain a
I
motion.
think so, though, wouldn't you?
You would think.
Because if you have more revenue than you do expenses,
You got more money than.
Well, and through August, she's at 22,000, so.
Yeah.
I appreciate her making plans. Seems reasonable.
It's not, I don't, that's what I'm saying. So.
No, it's not. It's like Steve said, it's just those two numbers that is comparing.
Yeah.
To me, that doesn't mean anything. At this point, looking at it.
So 3,000.
So again, you've got a budget request of 60,000 in revenue, 57 in expense, with 3,000 left.
Don't worry.
So
That's a good one to me. I'm gonna make a motion.
I would entertain that. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. 25 court automation.
This went through committee August 13th. Check out the contingency line.
So I would encourage committee members not to look at that percentage on the side. And we got faked out by that, but look at the actual numbers. You got 2025 budget. 2025 through 8/31, which gives you an idea of where they're at versus the budget that was originally presented. So they're gonna go over budget a little bit, it looks like. And then the request. Revenue and expense next year. In 2026, which they're saying is gonna be. Because if you look at it, through they budgeted 58,285, they've only spent 94,10. But there's still $48,000 left in that budget line. But going into 2026, they're still requesting 51, which is about what they requested last year. And the revenue side, the expense side. Where does all that extra money
They
go,
haven't
Georgia?
paid- Well, they haven't paid the least amount of maintenance yet.
So they're gonna get hit.
See that line 804 74310. They haven't paid anything on that.
Yeah.
yet.
You still have 4 months left in this year.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right, so that's why it's looking at that. Think overall went up what? $1,250. Right?
Yeah, they're still gonna come in under budget, even with that. What I'm saying is that it seems very reasonable that 10.87%. Steve, I appreciate you pointing that out, because that's basing just the number left over from last year, so it's a 10% increase in money left over. It's actually a good thing.
Well,
Well, the
and
budget's.
the cash carry forward is, it's not all the money in that fund, it's just what they need to balance, what
Right.
they believe will be needed for the year, so.
And it's not in my brain right now. Or something. But I do think that looks reasonable, so, yeah.
I mean, really, if you look at expenses, you just look at the expenses, that shows you where they're at budget wise.
Right,
Well, that's a negative.
right. Thank you,
And the other ones, down with the house.
right.
That's fine to be, I make a motion.
I have a
Second.
motion to approve in a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 027 youth diversion.
So it was approved at committee September 10th. The initial budget amount went from 15,000 down to 10,000. To reflect what would be brought in by the time the distribution goes out, because we're projecting how much we'll bring in the whole year. With what's left from this year moving forward, so that was reduced to 10,000.
Okay.
And whatever's left gets carried over to the next year.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve in a second. Any other thoughts, comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. 046 treasurer's automation.
Committee approved that September 9th or September 10th. I don't really recall a whole lot of the conversation at committee because I believe it.
Steve?
Motion to
Motion to approve.
approve is presented. I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. That is all that we have tonight on the budget side. I see here. So with that, reports. The committee, as far as finance goes, obviously this one, this outstanding debt of the nursing center is a big one. We don't really know how that's gonna impact things completely. We know we've got $500,000 coming next year to pay for that, but we don't know what the result of this lawsuit is gonna be, that's coming against the county. From what I've seen on the revenue side, just trying to keep track of it, I'm a little bit concerned about that. But I think we're gonna have to just work through it over the next month. And just see where we land. But hopefully the audit thing gets worked out. That is a genuine concern, because if we don't have that buttoned down, that could cause other issues in other areas. So, thank you for working on that. But I think that's all I've got. For the most part, I think it's gone pretty decent outside of Mexico. Everything I can see. So I got anything administration? Want to share?
I think next month we'll have the three budgets from the supervisor assessments through. We get that figured out once we see where we're at with this. I was just trying to get that public force from my memory. We were doing there. That budget got laid over till next month. All that. Let's see if There was a discussion about request to vacate a portion of right of way on Fairground Road near the south entrance of Crane Park by the Freeport Park District. I think we asked to go back to get some more information because there wasn't any official documents with descriptions on it, and nothing they really signed. It was just a map and a legal description. There was like no resolution type thing. I think the animal control budget looked pretty good. And I think that was about the current budget debt status. It's going well, Brian said. Again, the big thing was the budget or the 2026 budget for next month. I think I covered everything.
Freeport Nursing LLC, Scott was our rep from there. Construction started on September 6th. They're prepping, priming and painting. And then they're just gonna move their way throughout the entire building. I know they said the windows are gonna be replaced. Nurses station is gonna be replaced. There's a lot of construction going through. They did a quick survey with the staff. 4.83 stars out of 5 of everybody in the staff is very happy with how everything's going. They migrated to an electronic referral system, which they were very excited for because it centralizes everything. They had help with going through referrals. They had 18 in the last 9 days.
Wow.
So far, 2 admissions. And their goal last week was 50, and they're at 48 as of Thursday. So things are moving and shaking.
Yeah, touching on, sorry if I may, the dining room windows,
Yes.
windows that they are talking about replacing for any of you that have been on the board for a period of time, you've heard about the dining room windows, and the issues with the leaking in those. I don't know, it's been brought up every year since I've been here, so those are the items that I specifically talked about.
But didn't they put in some?
All the resident room windows got replaced with, solid surface sills. But the dining room windows were not. I know,
They leak air.
was it 2 or 3 years ago, some of the brickwork had to be redone outside because of the water seepage was kind of eroding. Yeah, water damage was eroding the brickwork underneath the windows and stuff.
Stuff's getting between the brick and the wall.
Yeah.
Pushing.
I know
brick out.
Ronnie
Isn't that?
asked if we were gonna have an open
Freezing
house, and I
on.
guarantee you.
Yeah, so.
It's that.
Yeah, letting the public know how things are.
Well, I asked
Moving
that,
in the
well,
right
like she
direction.
said, I did ask that question because it's a lot of misinformation out there. Plus also to give people a chance to meet them and see what's going on and everything else. Yeah, I can comment on that, Mr. Bush. Well, we can't, well, I know we can't say too much, but. Right.
Court services. Nothing. Budget, what's on budget?
I don't remember anything for P and D because I wasn't there.
And
B and D,
it was just me and you. We didn't even have a quorum.
that's right.
We just went through.
Yeah, there was not a quorum. We had the report from Report
GFP?
Partnership and we started and then talked about zoning.
There, yeah, that was pretty much it.
Anyone add, Mr. Bush, before you make a motion to adjourn?
No more than Mr. Thompson, we went through his budget, but those didn't show, but oh, we went over the contract, we did approve that, but from what I've been told, they want to bring it back to the committee to look at, so.
Yeah, I gotta say, I was very impressed with what they've done for us. Well, yeah, Sheriff Stoll took us on a tour of that before the meeting last month. He's really done a good job.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's a surprise. Well thought out, well put together. I know Mr. Townsend is very excited about the whole thing. If we ever do have an emergency situation, it seems like we really got it put together. Yeah. Shake on that.
Well, he's not done, he's just getting started.
Right? Yeah. You made that better. Really good. Mr. Bush,
So,
motion to adjourn, here a second. All those in favor say aye.
I,
Opposed, so carries. Thank you all for your time.
like, there's.
It's just real quick, is Monday night a decent